A lot of times we block our blessings because of the things that we may think or say. And please understand that the mind is a powerful, very powerful thing, as well as the tongue. But I feel like understanding how the universe works will be the key factor to the success in your future. Also, another thing that I learned is that poor is not the physical as to what you see, far as what we call reality. Poor is what's in the mind. If you continue to think that you are poor mentally by concerning yourself and drowning your mind with debt, meaning bills that has to be paid, your health issues, meaning I don't feel physically fit to do this or that, such as relationship issues. If you're constantly telling yourself you can't keep someone or you're not mentally happy, also with your job or career, if you keep saying I can't stand to go into this place, this, and the third, those things will manifest within the mind and it will have you feeling the way you are saying things are. But in order for things to get better, you have to think happy thoughts. If you want a better situation, do not look at your current situation. Try to visualize yourself in wherever place you want to be. And if you're not sure as to what that is, get online. If you have access to the internet and Google, homes, areas that stick out to you that looks better than the condition that you are in. If you want a better job, Google, jobs, even if you have no clue as to what they do. But type in a particular annual income amount that you would like to make and watch how all those jobs pop up and just search. Fill your brain with knowledge and more information than what you already have. But with that being said, again, poor is in the mind. Poverty was not built by our God, the Creator. Someone actually took the time to come up with calculations and whatever else have you to be able to keep you right where you are. But to me, these people are not successful. And the reason why I say that is, I know you're probably saying, yes, they are. I'm having a hard time at work. I'm not making any money. I'm doing all these things and I am still where I am today. The key word is I. The thought was planted there, but it was up to you to keep watering that negative seed. And that's why you feel like you are drowning in all of those negative things that we just spoke about. So in order for you to be able to be successful in life and have the finer things that you desire, it's going to require you to recondition your mind. It's going to start with affirmations. Because understand that as long as something is on repeat, and we can go with thinking about a song. Go back to a song of your choice, whether it is rock, R&B, country, any type of genre that you absolutely love. And when you first heard a song, did you know it right off the bat? It required you to play it over and over or hear it over and over to eventually you learn the lyrics. So the mind is the same thing. Tell yourself that whatever it is that you are seeking, whether it is wealth, health, relationships, anything that you desire, and if it involves all of these things, put it on repeat. Meaning tell yourself these things daily, throughout the day, and eventually the mind will believe that it is so. I had to do these things. I get up. I was once that person that got up every day. And I felt like my life was on repeat. I felt like I was in a circle just doing the same thing over and over. And that was for years. I felt that way. And I always felt like there was more to life than what I was getting. I always knew that we were supposed to receive way more than the amount of work we were putting in. And the reason why I say that is, think about it. Think about your 9 to 5. At your 9 to 5, you go to work. You spend 8 to 12. Some people even spend hours, way more hours than that at their jobs, because some people have jobs where they're going away from their families for weeks, sometimes months. And if you're in the military, years at a time. So you're spending all of this time, and at the end of the day, you're dedicating 90% of work into your life, but you're only reaping maybe 10% of that. Meaning, of course, we were taught and brought up that, hey, be grateful for the things that you have. Yes, there's nothing wrong with being grateful for the things that you have, but understand that the 90 point whatever percent that you are dedicating to that 9 to 5 is helping you get into your grave. That's where the wrinkles comes in. That's where the body aches come in. You are doing that to yourself. And I know you're saying, well, no, I'm not. I'm doing these things so that I can provide for myself as well as my family. But how can you provide for yourself how can you provide for your family if you are literally tearing yourself down every day? Going to a place that you absolutely hate and having to make decisions on, should I pay this bill so that we can eat this, and vice versa. Have you ever been placed in a compromised position where you having to make a decision on paying bills and eating? I've been in that position before. But at the end of the day, you have to have faith and recondition your thought process. Because a lot of times, and more than often, the things that we think is the things that is so. We tell ourselves, oh, I have just enough. And guess what? That's exactly what the universe is going to allow you to have. Just enough. Please get out of the mindset of thinking that wanting more is bad. No, that's why these things are here, so that we can have more. It's called abundance, prosperity. And the reason why it's called abundance is because so that you may have more than enough. Look up the word. If you don't believe me, look up the word. I had to look it up because I had a hard time believing it. But at the end of the day, in order for you to have more in life, you have to start with what you think about every day. This process takes time. It took time for you to get to how you think today. For those that's in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you spent years thinking the way you think. It takes time for you to recondition your mind, but it has to be a want. It has to be a desire. And sometimes I think it works faster once you are going through something where you feel like you're at your breaking point. Because that's what it took for me. I had my breaking point. People will tell me all day, oh, you can have better, da-da-da-da-da. People can want better for you, but in order for you to have better, you have to want it for yourself. I could say all day, oh my God, I want that part for you. I want this. But you have to want it. You have to want it for you. It has to be a desire that's burning within you. You have to want it. And again, it starts with your thoughts. I solely, fully believe in what you plant in your garden, so you shall reap. So if it's something negative, if you're one of those people that sits around and chat up and gossip and be around negative people all the time, eventually it will have a negative impact on your life. You will eventually turn into one of those people that's always sitting around and doing nothing. But if you surround yourself and place yourself in an environment where there is positive and production that is happening around you, eventually you will have positive things happening to you as well. If you don't believe me, try it. That's what it took for me. I mean, I wasn't 100% like, this is so true. Of course, I had to put it in motion. I had to see if it actually worked. And it does. I will wake up and go to my 9 to 5, knowing I did not like it. At first, I had a love for it because it was new. But as time went on and I noticed, okay, yes, I'm going from, one position to the next and I'm advancing, but at the same time, am I still making the money that I desired? Am I bringing home the income I want to be able to bless my family and change our lives? No, I'm making the money for me to still be in the position that I'm in or was in. Making the money that you're only able to pay bills, get a few groceries, and maybe go to catch a movie every now and then. But that's about it. And sometimes it was just enough to pay bills. So you're going from check to check. That is not a good life to live. Because now you're a robot. You are pretty much getting up, going to work, taking care of the kids, making sure the house is taken care of, everybody goes to bed, and guess what? You're doing it again tomorrow. Repetitious. That's something else. I had to learn that. It's sad that it took me as long as it did, but I had to learn it. So some of the things that I started doing. I said, okay, I'm going to get up, but I'm going to do some meditation music. Let's listen to some good soft meditation music. And some of the things that I would click on is one that would help me focus. One that I felt would give me abundance. That would help me open up the door for my overflow. One that helped me relax. So when I get ready to go to bed at night, it calms me. So I can shut my thoughts off. Notice I said shut the thoughts off. Because again, we can tend to overthink things and we block our blessings. Okay? But with that being said, change your thought process. I don't want to over talk you guys and fill you with too much information. But what I started with first was reconditioning my mind so that I can believe in myself more and get rid of the self-doubt. Get rid of your self-doubt and take the limitations off of God. He can do way more than what you can do. Trust me, he don't get tired. There's no tired. He don't get tired. We do, but he does not. And the best way I can explain this to you, think about a cell phone. When we were younger, it required for it to be attached into the wall or to something in order for you to receive reception. Now we're all walking around with our cell phones and there's nothing attached. There's no cords, no wires, no nothing. So that tells you that your cell phones are being operated off of frequencies. So I'm going to need you to create a connection with God because he is the source to all the things that you desire. So dial into him. Have a conversation with him as well as yourself. Start with yourself first, because if you're having a conversation with him and you don't believe that he's going to do these things, then guess what? You won't see it. You won't receive it. All because you don't believe it. So start with your mind first, then dial and have a conversation with God and watch things unfold for you. It's no different than you're able to call me and we in 2 different states. I promise, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it at all. Just dial into God and watch him and just release all of the things that you want and more. But until next time, you guys, please be blessed. Know that I too am still working on self, and I plan to take you guys on my journey with me as I'm headed towards my multimillionaire status.